It works.
Hey everybody, two comic book dudes here once again, bringing you the season finale of season 1 of Into the Badlands from AMC. Great martial arts show, and it's more than that. I mean, it's more than just a show about fighting. It's just really, really deep, but pretty cool. I'm Aaron, editor-in-chief of Comic Book.
Hey everybody, Justin, managing editor of Comic Book.
And just got off watching the show, so we thought we'd jump down here and put this together for you, give you our review of it, everything that happens, what we thought, and ask you guys for your thoughts. We definitely want your comments, so if you comment below, let us know what you thought about it. What do you expect? You know, is it going to go 6 seasons in a movie?
Are we going to get a season 2?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the question at this point. It sounds like from some of the interviews out there, Digital Spy had an interview with Daniel Wu, who plays Sonny, and he expects, he says if it's successful, obviously 5 or 6 seasons worth of story out there. So that's cool to think about, that it could go on that long. So, all right, well, let's talk about this final episode. Hand of Five Poisons is the title. Another martial arts move again. Then I kind of thought maybe we saw that at the end when he's fighting the monks, that the almost like a tiger claw looking thing, but that was what the move was. So it's hard to tell.
Or when they go like full Voltron mode.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it was pretty cool. So we start off, we here's what we knew at the beginning of this episode. Jade had been poisoned. Was she dead? We didn't know yet. The River King wants MK dead. We didn't know what was going on with that. Quinn knows about MK because he was hiding in the sewers there and watched what was going on or in the underground.
The dungeon.
Right. The Widow had been wounded severely by Sonny, not killed. She got away. Quinn knows about Sonny and Vale. We kind of figured that part. It seemed like Lydia and Jade were kind of buddying up.
Yeah.
But we also know that Ryder and Zephyr were making plans to kind of get rid of both Jacoby and Quinn, the two barons, and take over.
Right. They were working with the Widow.
Right. Working with the Widow. Yep. So that's kind of what we knew at this point. Everything falls apart from the start, Looks like Jade's doing okay. They call for Vale, they call for Vale to help her. Looks like, she's coming out of this. But then, was Vale there? No, Vale wasn't there. Vale was doing something else, wasn't she? It was Lydia. That's right. It was Lydia. And Quinn comes in. Now, we know before that Lydia and Vale had been discussing the poisoning and Beatrice, the whole thing, and that monkshood was something that Lydia knew about and had used in the past. So the stage was set to say, hey, you poison people. Oh, I got poisoned. You must have poisoned me. Well, right from the start, I'm kind of like, we know Lydia didn't do it. Jade poisoned herself to set Lydia up. That seemed pretty obvious. Quinn didn't see that because Quinn is blinded by everything. His ego, most of all, that something like this could happen in his own house. He was just like, oh, you're out of here. So he boots Lydia out on her butt right away. And that, I'm interested to see the repercussions of that because Lydia's out. Ryder comes to her, goes, here's your totems, get out of here, because she'd always pretty much washed her hands of him, right? So she goes back to the preacher, back to the reverend, her dad. And he had already said he pretty much disowned her. So it's interesting what she has to go through kind of to get back in his good graces.
Just to be baptized again.
Yeah, and that was kind of interesting. She hands over the totems that she brought with her, and then she has to dunk herself down in the water and come back out, and then he's like, welcome home, Lydia. So I don't know where that's all going to go. I mean, he's got his own little agenda, and now that he's got her, I think she's still got her own little agenda, so we'll see what happens with that story.
She wants revenge, but she may not be able to get revenge.
Yeah, I know. By the end of this episode, it kind of seems like that
beard
that
has
ship has sailed.
indeed.
Yeah. So Sonny, right off the bat, in order to pay the payment to the River King wants MK's head. So he instead brings the head of the other Colt that had died at the end of episode 5, who kind of looked like MK a little bit. Facial features is similar. Sorry. The River King tells him basically, hey, ship leaves at midnight, anchors up at midnight. If you're not here, you don't get to go. So, yeah. So Vale confronts Sonny when they're back, confronts Sonny about her parents and whether he killed them. And he says, I told you, Quinn did. And she's like, yeah, but with your sword.
So you were there and you didn't stop it.
Right. Which is, what's he supposed to say? Well, what was I supposed to do? He's my Baron. I was trying to survive. I mean,
I didn't think we were really going to kill him. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it was kind of a shock. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And
you're going to kill that doctor?
Yeah. I mean, this guy just helped you and you're going to go kill him? I don't get it. I mean, I think, it was just so much of a shock that Quinn didn't really, or Sonny didn't know what to do. So, I don't know. Then there's these, the monks or the abbots or whatever they're called, right?
Yeah, the abbots.
The abbots. So the one of the guys from the preacher, not the reverend, right? He's called the preacher.
I don't remember.
Lance Henriksen, whatever. He sends this guy up to tell the abbots that they basically have another dark one that they have to go take care of. And that's interesting. So these guys are, they all look like orange hooded monks kind of thing, and they go get in their truck and they take off to go find Sonny and MK and take care of whatever they need to do. So for my questions from the very beginning, what are these dark ones that they hunt down? Are they genetically engineered, genetically altered in some way? Are they possessed by something? Do they just have some kind of power, maybe a mutation from whatever happened that made the world the way it is? We still don't really know, even at the end of the episode. We don't know what's going on, but anyway. So, all right. So Quinn has Sonny locked up. There's a traitor in our midst. It's you. Put him in chains. Then go get the girl. Then go bring the Colt to me. So he wants to take MK under his wing and train him to be the weapon he should be, right? And then he wants Vale for himself, which I kind of thought he wanted Vale for himself before anyway. He's just kind of creepy that way.
Yeah.
So, especially now that he only has one wife. Yeah. So, so Vale's in her house, she's packing, and she goes up to the window, closes the window, and then all of a sudden there's a cloth over her face, and I'm going, well, that's not, that doesn't look like Quinn's men. They wouldn't do that.
Right.
So
they wouldn't be that filthy.
No. And my wife was sitting there, she's like, I don't think that was Quinn's men. I'm like, oh, no. So, shows up that the widow takes her, and the widow needs her help, of course, because she's got a big cut on her side from Sonny. So she asks for help, and Vale provides it, being a doctor and wanting to help people. But she does put a little insurance into it. At the end, she lays out 3 tinctures, three bottles, and each bottle's a different color: one blue, one green, and one yellow, I think. And she basically says, one of these is the tincture you need to help you. 2 of them are poisons. I'll tell you which one's right when I get back to my house.
Right.
So that was good incentive to make sure she gets safely home. So then Tilda is actually the one who takes her home later, and that's interesting too, because she has a discussion with Tilda, and she's like, "I want, your mom doesn't have your best interest in mind for you, really."
Right.
And so I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And, she says, I could make sure that you're safe if you want. And I'll give you an option. The blue one is the tincture that can heal her, and the other 2 are poisons. And so it's like, I'm not telling you to kill your mom, but you could kill your mom.
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want to. So, I thought that was kind of interesting, just that interchange, and you can see that even at the end, Tilda's kind of like, what do I do here? I got a
Right.
choice to make, and as of the end of the episode, she hadn't made the choice, so we don't know.
Yeah, we're left right there. But she
Right,
does in that moment. She tells Tilda that she was like MK, that she was
right,
special.
that she was special, whatever that means.
Yep. Maybe she grew out of it.
It's interesting. Well, and maybe because she wasn't trained,
It went
or
away or something like
yeah,
that.
or maybe she was
Dormant.
trained. It's hard to tell. Yeah, maybe it's still there.
Yeah.
And maybe then if her and MK get together and have babies, they'll all be these little black-eyed monsters. The black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Um, so then Quinn, Quinn is so full of himself, goes down there and taunts Sonny. And he's like, I'm going to do this until you tell me all your secrets. I'm going to keep you alive. And Sonny's like, when I get out of here, I'm going to clip you first. I was like, wow. But then Quinn goes to talk to MK, and he shows him. I thought this was interesting because this is really like the first real, indication about the world,
Mm-hmm.
because he shows him a picture of the Capitol building.
Yep.
From in Washington D.C.
Yep.
And he says this used to be the seat of government. This used to be where intelligent men gathered to decide the fate of the world.
Right.
And we're living in the results of their failures, basically.
Of those enlightened men.
Yeah. So it's interesting because we've seen the cars and the trucks and the motorcycles, but no real true indication that, hey, this is Earth in the future.
Right.
Somebody messed up.
Right.
So pretty cool. I thought that was cool.
Oh, yeah. And especially like where those like the abbots were when they show the building that they were in at the beginning.
Yeah, it's like a giant factory.
Yeah, it was weird looking. So
yeah. Well, it looks like maybe like a foundry or something. You know how they kind of have the cooling pipes and stuff. But yeah,
Yep.
it was up on a hill and it was some kind of a giant factory looking thing. It was very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So then, really at this point in the show, the ball starts rolling. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine, where they flip the thing and the ball rolls and everything starts knocking over and all the pieces start falling into place. And this was it. Waldo is the ball that starts rolling. He rolls rolls up to the cage, to the dungeon there, and he starts talking to Sonny, and the clipper next to him is like, hey, you can't talk to that guy. And he's like, oh, really? Punches him, pulls him down, snaps his neck. He lets himself in. Goes in and lets Sonny off and tells him to get out of here. Things are going to go down and he shouldn't be there. And Sonny's kind of realization that, hey, Waldo, you're the traitor this whole time. He says, I prefer to think of myself as an enlightened thinker or whatever, right?
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary, yeah. So it's just interesting because, and really from his perspective, he's just protecting himself. He's protecting the future.
Right.
So, yeah, kind of funny. So we've got several things going on now. So Sonny gets out, and he tells Sonny, I should have saved you from this life a long time ago. I should have either left you on the riverbank or slit your throat right there.
Yep. So,
yeah. I mean, he feels bad that Sonny ended up in this, but he does give him that medallion.
Yep.
And he says, I found this around your neck this was around your neck when I found you. And it's the medallion of Ozra, the city of Ozra. So that whole thing now, we know where Sonny's from. And was Sonny special too when he was little?
Yeah, like the widow, their powers kind of went away or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. But then also Waldo tells him there's going to be an ambush when Quinn's taking MK to the dollhouse that night. Jacoby and everybody's going to ambush him. So that's what we have to look forward to. Basically, Jacoby, Zephyr, and Ryder all show up to face Quinn and MK. Quinn, but right, all the clippers and the pickaxes and stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah. So Quinn cuts MK and he just steps out of the way. He's like, here you go. And he walks. MK comes up, black eyes go, and he wipes the floor with everybody.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. So all that's going on in the street. Quinn turns around and there's Sonny right in front of him. I thought Quinn's statement, I guess it's a little too late for a discussion to happen.
Mm.
And then he says, you're going to be my last tattoo. And he runs him through. So now, is Quinn dead?
I don't know. There was a lot of blood coming out of his mouth as he was.
There was. So hopefully he's dead. But we don't know for certain, because then Sonny goes out to try to protect MK because the monks show up, or the abbots show up. And so the abbots, Sonny fights them because they want MK. He fights them, and he fights them to a draw, basically. Yeah. Until then, they all look at him and change.
Yep.
Their eyes go black.
They go black eye.
Yep. So that whole thing, that was pretty cool. Because then you have to, then you have to wonder, are they taking MK to be trained, or are they going to take MK to get rid of him so that they can remain the force of power?
Mm.
You know, is it something they don't want one more of themselves out there in the world, or they want one more to join their ranks? So
right. Right.
Or are they taking him back to Azra?
Well, they said that he would have to be cleansed. That was their thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
There was a new dark one that needed to be cleansed.
Yeah. So we wonder what that all means. So, kind of interesting. You know, we have something to look forward there. But yeah, I mean, by the end of the episode, they have royally beat Sonny to a pulp. The fight was amazing, and the light effects and the blurring when they're fighting him, that was really, really cool. I love the scene, especially like that last scene where they're all just circling around him and punching him, and the punches are all blurred, and they're all like synchronously punching, punch, all on all sides. That was cool.
Yeah, really. I mean, yeah, visually that was incredible. They did a great job there.
Yeah. Well, even when they put down MK and they're touching him and it's like lighting up where they touch him, that was cool. Yeah. And they did a great job with this final fight scene. It was well worth. I mean, this series in itself was awesome. You can watch the full series on AMC.com. If you have AMC on cable, you can go watch the whole series and catch up if you missed some. You know, it's worth watching, really. As something just to fill the gap between now and February for Walking Dead, it was great. Next year, you know, if they pick this up for a second season, this and Walking Dead will be two shows on AMC that I definitely watch constantly.
Yep. Yeah, I want to see where this one goes, you know. And now, if we go beyond that, Sonny gets kind of taken after he gets knocked out of the fight with the monks. Yeah. And we see him at the end on the boat, chained up in the belly of the boat, whatever.
Prisoner of the River King at this point.
Right.
Yep. So he says, I'm not going to kill you, but I am going to trade you.
Yep.
Like,
you lied to me, and I don't get double crossed, but I know.
That's right. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And Vale comes back. You know, Vale basically gets there and finds Sonny's broken sword, but then she doesn't find Sonny's broken body.
Right.
And she doesn't really, you know, she doesn't find anything else, but that's what she comes back to. So we've got some loose ends definitely left. You know, Vale is there now all by herself. The widow's still alive. We don't know where she's at. Looks like, maybe. I mean, Jacoby and, well, maybe. Yeah, we don't know. Jacoby, Zephyr, and Ryder. Well, Jacoby and Zephyr definitely got the crap kicked out of him. Ryder got away. We saw him scoot off at the end. So we know he's still alive. Lydia's with the preacher. MK is in a box in the back of a truck driving across the desert. And you know, his monologue at the end there was kind of interesting. The narrative over saying basically there's a long journey ahead.
Right.
So I thought that was, yeah, we'll see. That's all the notes I had. So it was a great show. You know, I've been impressed with the writing, with the action scenes, the intrigue and everything. You know, so I've seen people compare it to, you know, Games of Thrones-ish kind of story, But I mean, there's a lot of political stuff going on. It's good. It's definitely kept my interest. So I like it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just wondering though, maybe Sonny and the Widow had the power. Maybe they were cleansed when they were young. Maybe the cleansing process makes you forget your past.
It could be. Could be.
Who
Or
knows?
they weren't. Yeah. Well, then, yeah, because otherwise, every time you use your power, it draws some of your life force away.
Right.
So, or it could be that their life force was drawn out, that they're not dead, but their goodness is all gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
They're
Sonny's a killer. That's why she's a killer. Kind of, both of them kind of heartless and emotionless.
They have that moral flexibility because of that
Yeah.
being gone.
Yeah, yeah. So it's hard to tell. We'll hopefully find out next season if it all comes back again. So
Right.
all right. Well, we appreciate you guys, watching and listening to us ramble on about these shows. We've done a review of all 6 episodes now, so this is the first series we've actually finished one full season of. We appreciate.
Start small.
That's right. 6 episodes we can handle. So we do appreciate that. Please like, share, subscribe. If you could share out with anybody who likes TV shows, let them know that we do these reviews. We really appreciate it. Leave a comment on what you thought about this finale. What do you expect for next season? What are your predictions? Who are your favorite characters? What was a cool fight scene that you really liked? Anything like that. Let us know. I'm going to try to get in contact with AMC over these next few months and see what we can do about getting some stuff. Maybe we could do giveaways for this show or Walking Dead or whatever else is in the future. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.